I want to end with answering one question. This was a question that was posted earlier in the group, and someone was, it was kind of a tongue-in-cheek joke, but the question was, do you know when all of this lockdown stuff is going to end? The question is no, I don't know. I have my opinions, but I'm not going to share those here because I'm not an expert on that, and I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on it. And because of that, I am going to not share my opinions, but I'm going to share what I am doing and share what I am doing with my clients. I do not know when things are going to go back to normal or the new normal or whatever is coming. But here's what I do know. I do know that the recipe for stress, anxiety, depression, and fear is focusing on things that you cannot control. See, I do not have any control over when things go back to normal. I don't have any control over when things are changing. I don't have any control over any of that. I have zero control. Zero. So the question is, what can I control? Well, I can control what I am doing day in and day out. That's what I can control. I can control what kind of things I am doing. I can control what I am doing day in and day out. And that's what you can control as well. So if you're looking at what you can control, I would rather focus on the things that I can control. So what can I control? Well, Alex says, hey, hey, Jake, fancy background. Well, thank you very much. Here's one thing I can control. I can't control when I can go back and start speaking in public at live events and putting on my own seminars. I can't control that. But what I can control is I have this opportunity to speak here. We have almost 8,000 people in the group. I have all the different platforms with thousands of people, and I can control sharing my message from this office right here. What I can control is I can just be in front of a wall and kind of have some things in the background, or I can control making it the best that I can. So you know what? I went out and I got this monitor. This is a 65-inch monitor. I went out and got it. I wanted to get a great looking thing. So I have different slides on here that I can use. I'm going to be having some different cool moving backgrounds and wanted to make it look really cool. So there we go. I got our new Speakers, Authors, and Coaches Network logo up there. We have that. I got this background set up. We have lights all over the place. I decided to say, what can I control? Well, what I can control is looking the best I possibly can on video, because here's what I can do. I can control this. Here's something I can control. I can't control when things open up again. I can control doing more virtual events. I can control shifting things within the business to work better for online events as opposed to virtual events. I can't control when things go back to normal, and so therefore, I am not going to focus on when things are going to go back to normal. I'm not going to focus on something I cannot control. All I'm going to do is make the best out of the situation right now. That's it. That's all I'm going to do is, how can I focus on what is going on right now instead of focusing on, I wish it was different. I wish it wasn't happening. Great quote from the movie Lord of the Rings, also from the book The Lord of the Rings. But Frodo says to Gandalf, I wish none of this ever happened. And Gandalf, the wise wizard that he is, he says, of course, so do all who live to see such times. So do all who live to see such times. But we do not get to choose the times in which we live in. All we get to choose is what we are going to do with the time that we are given. That's it. We can't choose it. We're here. We're in this time. It's a very interesting time, especially us as speakers. People who make a living speaking at events with 500 or 1,000 people sitting in a room every 18 inches. When is that going to come back? I don't know. But I don't see it being the norm for a long time. And I know that's kind of not the thing that people want to hear, but that's the truth. And I think it's important that you just see the truth rather than pretend that something else is going to happen. It's not going to be the norm for a long time. It might happen here and there, but it will not be the norm. It's not going to be the norm for a long time. So the question is, what are you going to do? You're going to focus on what you can control. Focus on what you can control and forget about the things that you can't control.